Imagine two people standing on the same ladder. Both have jobs. Both pay bills. Both look normal. Both think they are somewhere in the middle. But one person is actually standing on the third step. The other is barely hanging on to the first. And neither of them knows it. That's how money works for most people. They don't know what step they're really on. They guess. They guess based on salary. Based on rent. Based on the car in the driveway. Based on whether life feels kind of okay. But money doesn't care how things feel. Money measures one thing. What do you own after subtracting what you owe? That number is your net worth. And once you see that number clearly, a lot of people realize something uncomfortable. They are not where they thought they were. Hey, I'm Elon. And on this channel, we talk about money in a way that actually makes sense. No fake guru talk. No useless motivation. No confusing words just to sound smart. Just the truth, explained simply. Today, we're going to break down the real wealth ladder. Not based on feelings. Not based on income alone. Not based on what people look like from the outside. We're going to look at the one number that tells the real story. And to make this easy to follow, we're going to use one person all the way through the video. His name is Elon. He has a decent income. He feels like he's doing okay. But when we run the actual numbers, the truth is much harsher than the feeling. Let's break it down. Let's start with the basic rule. Income is not wealth. Net worth is wealth. That means take everything you own. Your savings. Your investments. Your retirement accounts. Your car. Your home equity, if you have any. Then subtract. Student loans. Car loans. Credit cards. Personal loans. Mortgage debt. Anything you still owe. Whatever is left is your real financial score. Not your paycheck. Not your job title. Not the fact that you can afford brunch on Sunday. That is why so many people are confused. Because they look at their income and think, I'm doing fine. But income is just water flowing through your hands. Net worth is what stayed behind. And if nothing is staying behind, then the picture is very different from what the paycheck suggests. Now let's look at Elon. Elon is 34 years old. He works in marketing. He earns $85,000 a year. That sounds pretty solid. After taxes, he takes home around $5,200 a month. He rents a decent apartment. Drives a nice car. Has started contributing a little to his 401k. Pays his bills on time. If you met him, you'd probably think, yeah, middle class. Doing all right. Now let's check the numbers. What Elon owns. Car value. About $22,000 for 401k. About $12,000 savings. About $3,000 that gives him around $37,000 in assets. What Elon owes. Car loan. About $18,000 student loans. About $26,000, that's $44,000 in debt. Now subtract. $37,000 minus $44,000 equals negative $7,000 negative. Not low. Negative. That means on paper, Elon is not standing comfortably in the middle. He is below zero. And this is where a lot of people watching this should pause. Because millions of people are in the same situation. Good salary. Normal life. Weak net worth. That is one of the biggest financial illusions in modern life. Now let's talk about the bottom of the ladder. A lot of people think the lowest part of the wealth ladder is only for people with tiny incomes. That's not true. A huge number of people in the lower levels earn decent money. The problem is not always income. The problem is that debt is growing faster than ownership. That means the first mission is not becoming wealthy. It is getting above water. That's the first real step. Because if your net worth is negative, you are swimming with weights on your ankles. Maybe you still look fine from the shore, but the math is pulling you down. For Elon, the first real move is simple. Pay down debt faster. Keep building retirement savings. Stop letting every paycheck disappear into lifestyle and payments. The goal here is not luxury. The goal is stability. The goal is reaching the moment where your assets finally outweigh your liabilities. That moment matters more than people think. Because once you cross from negative to positive, everything changes emotionally. You stop feeling like you're repairing damage. You start feeling like you're finally building. Now let's say Elon climbs. He pays down debt, builds some savings, maybe eventually buys a house. His net worth moves into real positive territory. This is where many people start feeling proud. And they should. But here's the problem. A lot of people in the lower middle wealth range are still more fragile than they realize. Why? Because most of their net worth is often trapped in one place. Their home. That sounds good at first. A house is an asset. Home equity is real. But home equity is not the same as flexibility. It's not the same as cash. It's not the same as a strong emergency fund. It's not the same as investment assets that are growing and accessible. So a person can have a decent net worth on paper and still feel one emergency away from panic. That's why so many middle-class households don't feel secure. They're not crazy. They're sensing something real. The net worth may exist, but much of it is locked away inside walls and a roof. So this level is progress. Real progress. But it is not the same as freedom. Not yet. Now we reach the most important shift on the ladder. At the lower levels, most wealth is usually tied to one big thing: home equity. But at the next level, something changes. Now investments begin to matter more. Retirement accounts grow. Brokerage accounts grow. Savings get stronger. Money begins to exist in more than one place. And that changes the whole game. Because a house can help you build wealth, but investments can compound. A house may rise in value, but investments can grow, reinvest, and multiply over time. That's why this level matters so much. It's the point where your money stops just sitting inside a property and starts learning how to work. And once money starts working, the climb changes. At first, building wealth feels like pushing a heavy cart uphill. Slow. Tiring. Annoying. But once investments get big enough, compounding begins helping you push. That's when the cart starts moving differently. That's when the journey speeds up. Not because the person changed. Because the math changed. This is one of the most important truths in the whole topic. A high income does not automatically move you up the wealth ladder. A lot of people think it does. It doesn't. Because wealth is not built by earning more alone. It is built by keeping and growing what you earn. That means a person making $200,000 can still be weak financially if they spend almost all of it and build very little. And a person making much less can quietly climb faster if they invest, avoid bad debt, and keep lifestyle under control. This is why some people look rich but stay stuck. And why some people look ordinary but keep rising. The difference is not always paycheck size. Often it is behavior. Quiet behavior. Repeated behavior. Boring behavior. And boring behavior compounds. That is one of the hardest truths for people to accept. Because exciting lifestyles get attention. But quiet ownership builds wealth. Now let's talk about the upper part of the ladder. This is where things stop being about survival or even basic stability. This is where wealth begins producing enough on its own that work starts becoming more optional. That's the real difference. Not a nicer watch. Not a bigger kitchen. Not a luxury vacation. Optionality. That means you don't need every paycheck just to keep life from wobbling. Your investments can generate meaningful income. Your choices widen. Your fear shrinks. That is what real upper wealth looks like. Not just ownership. Power. Not power over other people. Power over your own time. And that is why the top part of the ladder matters so much. Because once your money begins producing enough to support life by itself, your relationship with work, risk, and freedom changes forever. Work becomes less like oxygen and more like a choice. That is one of the clearest signs that someone has truly climbed. Now here's the part people almost never understand properly. A number means something different depending on your age. A net worth that is strong at the 28th of may be weak at 58. A number that looks average across the whole country may actually be amazing for your age group. Or terrible. That's why age matters so much. Because time is the invisible engine behind all of this. A younger person who is behind still has time to fix the direction. An older person who is behind has less room for mistakes. That doesn't mean hope is gone. But it does mean delay costs more. So when Elon is 34 and sitting at negative $7,000, that matters. Because he still has time to change the script. But if he keeps drifting, the same habits that feel harmless now become expensive later. That is why the ladder is not just about the number. It's about the number plus the clock. The earlier you understand where you truly are, the more power you have to change where you're going. Now let's finish with something important. Imagine Elon in 3 different futures. Future 1. He changes almost nothing. He keeps earning decent money. Keeps contributing a little. Keeps carrying debt too long. Keeps living a normal life that feels good enough. In that future, he improves slowly. But not enough to really transform his life. Future 2. He gets serious. He attacks debt. Raises retirement contributions. Starts saving on purpose. Maybe buys a modest home later. Starts building real assets. Now the curve changes. He begins climbing in a meaningful way. Future 3. He gets aggressive and intentional. He increases his income. Keeps lifestyle controlled. Invests heavily. Uses housing smartly. Lets compound growth do its work. Now he doesn't just climb. He jumps levels. Same person. Same starting point. Different decisions. Completely different ending. That is the real lesson of this whole video. Wealth is not a vibe. It is not a title. It is not a salary. It is not a neighborhood. It is math repeated over time. And that means it can change when behavior changes. So let's go back to the question from the beginning. Lower class, middle class, or upper class, which one are you? At the start, you probably answered with a feeling. Now you know the better answer starts with a calculation. Not, how do I feel? But, what do I own? What do I owe? What does that number mean for my age? And what direction is it moving? That is the real ladder. And if the result is lower than you expected, that is not failure. That is clarity. And clarity is powerful. Because once you stop guessing where you are, you can finally start moving with purpose. That is how people climb. Not by hoping. Not by dressing richer. Not by calling themselves middle class because it sounds better. They climb by learning the real number and building from there. If this changed the way you think about money, subscribe. Because on this channel, we don't just talk about income. We talk about the real math underneath wealth. And in the comments, answer this. What shocked you more, how many people with good salaries still have weak net worth, or how different the same number looks depending on your age?